Well, in 2002, there was an incident when Buntry, who's Mob James's brother, got killed.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you're connected to this whole story.
Boy, it's amazing. I've heard some fantasies or some people making up stuff. According to what I heard, they said that I was in the car with Buntry in the truck, the Tahoe, with Buntry when he stopped at the gas station to get gas, and I was supposed to be with him in the car. I went in to pay for the gas, and when I came out, the guys were shooting up Buntry, and I refused to shoot because I should have had a gun, and I ran. That's the story. Well, let me tell you the true story.
Let's hear it.
On the day that Buntry got shot, it was early morning, 9 o'clock, 8 or 9. I was working at Twin Towers facility for the sheriff department, and I got home from work about 6 or 7, got in bed in Chino Hills, mind you, and about 9:30, I get a call from the captain of the sheriff's station, Cecil Rambo, who I knew personally and all, because he heard from the sergeant at the scene that the truck of the victim that had got shot at this gas station was registered to Reggie Wright. It didn't say of death row, although it was a death row vehicle in Reggie Jr.'s name. The driver was shot at the scene and somebody ran. And I said, Cecil, how the heck I get here if I had anything? That ain't me. That's Reggie's vehicle. It's in his name, but it belongs to death row. Buntry has been driving it for a while. Reggie has been trying to catch up with Buntry to get the truck back because that's when death row was kind of breaking up so he can get it out of his name. I'm sure Reggie was nowhere around it. So he told me to call his sergeant at the scene. And I called her at the scene. And that's when she asked me, do you know who driving this truck? And I said, Buntry. And I described him. So she was convinced that was the victim laying there. She said, well, where were you here or something? I go, what do you mean here? I'm at home, in Chino Hill. She said, well, somebody ran from the truck. It's probably your son. And I basically said to her, okay, who is the person that ran? What is his description? She almost said the male usual. But she caught herself and she said, he was about, 5'10", 5'11", 170 pounds, young and running. At the time, Reggie was about 5'5", about 280 pounds or something. I said, that wasn't Reggie. I told you, Reggie don't even deal with that truck. He couldn't have ran from that scene if he wanted to, basically. I just kind of said that. But anyway, eventually, she wanted to talk to Reggie and all that. And I called Reggie up. He was somewhere in Inglewood or something, and he didn't know about it. And I told him what happened. And so I guess he subsequently got it with his attorney and went and talked to her about the vehicle. But the story about me there, I got the best alibi in the world. I got the captain of the police department who called me at home knowing I was in Chino Hills within an hour of the shooting, But them theorists, they come up with all kind of make-believe.
Right. And this was around the time when a lot of the Bloods associated with death row were starting to turn on each other.
Yes, sir.
And Buntry was only one of the many people who got killed.
Yes.
During this time.
Blood on blood. Well, actually, closer than that. Blood on blood. Because there was a lot of Fruittown and looters and all them going at each other. And it was all dope related mostly.
Right. Well, as you said, death row was kind of going downhill. Like they lost Tupac, Dre had left, I think Snoop was probably gone. Yeah.
Who was a big player with Death Row, Heron, and it was a blood on blood thing.
Yeah. Like who died around that time that was affiliated with death row in terms of the Bloods? Do you remember?
Yeah, well, some of them. Heron definitely happened. It was blood on blood. A dude, let me get his name. I can see his face right now. But he was found handcuffed, shot near the cemetery, and it started a lot of mess between Fruittown and the mob. Vincent Buchanan, he was killed. That was some blood stuff. And somebody else, and then Poochie eventually, got killed over there on Central on his motorcycle. So that's the kind of things were going on around that time.
Right. It was a mess.
It was a mess.
It was a mess.
We had a lot of mess. Oh, buddy.